Aquarius, welcome on in. Welcome to your relationship reading. And I'm going to clear the space a bit with some rose sage, and hopefully we're going to get some really good messages today. I am going to pull cards on you and your person of interest. Keep in mind that this is a relationship reading that may or may not be romantic. It could be family, it could be with a coworker, it's whoever is on your mind. Take it as it applies. If you want a romantic relationship reading, I have those on Saturday for my sexy Saturday readings, right? And if you want to check those out, I've already got a playlist here, so you can go look at the ones I've already put out if you missed them, okay? But who knows, that person may come out again. It's whoever's on your mind. So thank you, Spirit, for clear messages about Aquarius's person of interest. And let's start off with their thoughts. Let's see their energy. Let's see how are they showing up in this relationship, okay? How are they showing up in their relationship? Okay. They might be showing up as somebody who is cooperating and they want to be a team player, but there's been some kind of fallout, okay? It might have to do with integrity issues where they're like, you know, I really want to work with you on this, but I don't know how to make this last. Okay. There also might have been some sudden awakenings or realizations having to do with what it means to be a team player, what it means to be Team Aquarius, what it means to, you know, give to this dynamic. How are you showing up? How is Aquarius showing up in this relationship? I am seeing that maybe in the past, this person, they said they were going to cooperate and collaborate, and they did not. Okay. And now that's making sense that you are feeling some kind of, I'm getting a lot of alone energy, and you're pulling back and you're withdrawing your resources and you're reflecting on this. Okay. This is kind of a little bit dark. The only positive light here is I think that you are standing on your own, okay? But I do feel that you have perhaps been drained. You're still standing pretty strong, and you're protecting yourself. And I think that now you're not giving or getting you're not giving any commitment to this anymore. I think you're just gonna protect your resources and hold off on committing any further to this, because I think that this person has drained you or cost you. And if it's not a person, it's a situation, and you're really looking out for yourself at this point, and you're doing a lot of reflecting and examining the sacrifices that have been made, what it has cost you, and what you're willing to sacrifice from this point on. What are their thoughts? What are their thoughts? What are their thoughts towards Aquarius? What are their thoughts? Please show me. We will be together soon. So again, I think that this person wants to come together with you, okay? They want to support you and be supportive, but I don't know if they have the ability to support you in the way that you need, or there's been some fallout in this dynamic. Again, it's kind of similar to last week where I saw this person, their heart is in the right place, but they just have some growing up to do. And again, it might be an integrity issue. It might be a character issue. That it's like, well, I want to give to this, but I don't know how. How about Aquarius? What are your thoughts towards this person that wanted to come out? Your words linger in my mind. I'm in a much better headspace now. I think that, again, you are, in your holding back time, And even if you feel like very alone and unsupported and just taking care of yourself and protecting yourself, you are thinking about what they said. I think you're sorting some things out, really. I think you're sorting it out in your head as you reflect on what happened. What are their feelings? What are their feelings? Okay. Proud, comforted, receptive, inadequate. Again, the inadequacy is this: incompetent, ill-equipped, worthless. Like, I can't give you what you value because I need you to give to me. And perhaps you did, okay? Perhaps to some degree you provided some comfort or consolation to this person. And in that, they felt happy about what you gave them. But in terms of getting beyond this take care of me, almost this childlike approach, it's, well, I can't really give you what you need in this exchange. I don't have it to give. And they're feeling inadequate about it. How about you, Aquarius? Trapped. Came out in reverse, so I think you try to get out of it, right? You might have felt cornered or stuck by this person. And now it's like you don't have a lot of faith in this situation. I think that you have been trying to break out of whatever made you feel stuck, okay? But you no longer are putting your faith in that situation. There's a lot of pessimism about it and feeling that the fallout here left you a bit defeated, okay? I think you have, by the way, because that came out in reverse, I think you have broken out of this. It's just, you're like, yeah, I'm not going back to that cage. I'm not going to do anything that will put me back in that cage. What are their intentions towards Aquarius? Oh, wow, wow. And that is the Aquarius card. Air sign, Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. I'm not getting a good feeling about that, okay? I think they're in their feels about what they want and what they're willing to give, and that being out of balance. They might be blaming you on it, like, well, you're the problem. If you cut them out, I don't know, it's weird. I'm getting some kind of overlap here. Can you clarify this, Spirit, about their intentions? Clarify their intentions. Well, again, this is like a mother energy. Could be a Taurus, could be an Aquarius, Libra, Gemini, specifically Aquarius. Very feminine energy both here. I feel like, again, and that's these very feminine energies. I think they want growth and expansion, okay? They do want to nurture things moving forward, okay? But there is some anger about it. There is some frustration about it. And I'm honestly getting the feeling that, Aquarius, you might have drawn your sword and, you know, driven a stake through the heart of the matter. And the heart of the matter is something very revealed some inadequacy, revealed some character issues, some integrity issues, and they're angry about it and they just want to feel good. Okay? They don't want to deal with the uncomfortable truths. They just want to, again, they want growth and expansion with you, but there's something unpleasant, okay? That you're coming across unpleasant, or they feel unpleasant because of the way that what you put out with your truth, with your sword, driving a stake through the heart of the matter, and maybe again expose some things about how they're showing up in a dynamic where there has to be reciprocation in order for there to be wholeness. Because I'm getting this person maybe just wants to receive and they want it one-sided. And then when you're like, well, okay, that's great that you like what I'm giving to you, but now can you give back? Oh, inadequacy. But is that your fault? I don't know. This person might have actually got it twisted. And they think the problem is you because you pointed out what the problem is. So then, well, that makes you the problem. No, wrong. Oh, no, 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 no. Mm-mm, mm-mm. Okay. Either they're bitchy about it or they think you're bitching about it. And you might, in fact, be bitching about it, okay? But it's, I think, a legit problem because it's showing up here as Spirit is stepping in saying, this doesn't have the proper nuts and bolts to stand. Somebody needs to go back and rebuild this properly. Right? It's like, I don't know, I'm getting this idea come into my head of, you know, whenever you buy a piece of furniture, you know, from the store that you have to assemble and you don't read the directions, you just slap it together, but you didn't do it properly, so then something's not right. And then you realize what is wrong was like maybe step 2 or 3 out of 50 steps. And then, so in order to correct it and get it right, you got to undo all the work and bring it back to step 2 or 3. It's like, no, go back to the drawing board, fix that. It's a tear down rebuild is what I'm getting. And somebody does not, they just want to keep building on shit. There's a bad foundation here and they don't want to fix the foundation. They just want to keep building, I don't know, upon the Tower of Pisa, you know? And just have people marvel at this leaning tower, you know, and how it's still standing and, you know, but it's not proper, it's not correct. And I think that you pointing that out is like a thorn in their side, okay? What are your intentions? What are your intentions? What are your intentions? If that's not a mother, that's a wife. It's a very feminine energy, both of those cards. That came forward. I think you're going to trust your intuition here. I think you don't trust them. I think you have doubts and insecurities about this person, this situation. And I think that you're disappointed. And I think that you don't feel secure, and rightly so. Because I don't think this person is bringing security. I mean, with that Tower card and the inadequacy, they don't still feel secure. How can you feel secure? They're not bringing it. Some of you have some worries, again, about getting put back in this cage, and you're just like, I'm going to protect myself and I'm going to hold off and make sure I do not get put back in that cage. I think you found something out about this person, and you are like, oh, noted. Okay, I'm not going to go there anymore. I'm not going to do that. Like if this person comes at you again and, you know, says, hey, let's do this together, you're going to be like, yeah, that sounds like a nice idea, but I really don't know if that's going to work out. Okay. Yeah, I see you holding back. See, I think you're going to be like, I'm just going to stay over here because I don't really see how this is going to work out. Okay. I really, with these swords, you have decided within yourself, you will not move forward. Okay. You have no intention of moving forward with this person at this time. And you might, again, be isolating. Again, I saw some solitude there, although I think you're doing fine. But again, more this isolation, it's self-imposed, like you don't have to. But I feel that if you can't see clearly, you know, if this person is not showing up as a clear green light in your life, if the insecurities, the doubts, the disappointments have not been worked through, you're just gonna stay back. You're just gonna sit on the sidelines because that's not a game you want to be in. That's not a game you feel you can win at. Wow, what a message. What a message. I think, you know, your intuition is also telling you to hold back. What are their challenges? There's a non-committal energy here, and it almost seems like they work at perfecting this lack of commitment, and that's very toxic, okay? Very, very toxic. It's a cycle for them, and it's something that unfortunately they're going to go round and round and round with this toxicity until they figure out that what they need to be perfecting is a spirit of commitment. Okay. Also, I'm seeing that somebody, the way that they operate, the way that they work is through doing things in an unconventional way of, you know, I'm not going to be nailed down to commitment, status quo. If I feel that you know, in any way I'm being restricted, I'm going to rebel against it. And it makes whatever they're working on bring this element of toxicity. There might be a Taurus or a Capricorn involved. Non-committal, toxic energy, and they apply themselves to this like this is something to master, the art of being non-committal. And it's a cycle. It's a round and round and round until they get tired of this, you know, toxicity. This is actually, I don't think you want to be caught up in this, okay? This person, they're going to keep going around this mountain until they decide that they need to apply themselves towards commitments that actually empower them and free them. Because actually this non-committal energy is entangling them and enmeshing them, and it's weird. It's like their fear is actually, the thing they're trying to avoid is actually coming at them. They're trying to avoid being controlled by not committing to stuff. But then what's happening is this non-committal energy is it's like they're committed to not being committed. It's a weird message. And then that takes them down a dark path. And again, until they realize, you know what, you are committed one way or another. There's no getting around commitment in this life. You have to consciously decide to commit yourself to things that are worthwhile commitments. They're going to keep going round and round and round this mountain, wondering why they're getting into these toxic exchanges or entanglements or feeling restricted or limited when they were trying to avoid that very thing. There's no avoiding it. It's like they have not gotten the memo. There is commitment. There are commitments in this realm no matter what, in this 3D atmosphere, right? I don't know why I'm hearing you either commit to good or you commit to evil, but you're going to commit to something. You have to be conscious and mindful of what you're committing to, because there's no way around commitments. Uncommitted people are committed to not being committed. And with that brings toxicity. They haven't gotten the memo. I don't know. This person's just going to go round and round for quite a while with that. Let's see, what is your challenge? What is your challenge for the Aquarians? Holding it down, you know, being practical, avoiding conflicts, staying in an empowered position where maybe you got into dynamics where there were disagreements, where maybe you dealt with people who engaged in zero-sum games, win-lose dynamics, where they were okay with you losing so long as they won. They don't care what it cost you so long as they got theirs. You know, your challenge is to be practical in these situations where you find yourself maybe caught in the middle of somebody's cycle and lesson, and you got, I don't know, ensnared in, again, because did you join forces with somebody who is going through some karmic cycles where everybody who comes across their path is part of their little lesson about being non-committal? And you get in the crosshairs of this, and you keeping your bearings in it. And also, once you realize you got caught up in the crossfire of this, how do you reverse your fortune? How do you regain your power? And I think it's going to be through some very practical, down-to-earth, this is the brass tacks of it. These are the nuts and bolts of what I have to do to not lose myself, my self-sufficiency, to not be taken from at such a detrimental level that I feel I now have to protect myself, because I realize I'm engaged in a relationship or group dynamic where people are not taking my best interests as their own. This is also about resentments, about money, security, stability issues. And so again, if this is a relationship or a group dynamic where people are resentful about maybe what you're doing to provide money, resources, stability, security, that's a challenge for you. Anything else? Anything else? Oh yeah. So that came out sideways, and yeah, I think that some of you, again, this is some rough dynamics. It's a interpersonal exchange between you and this person, or again, I'm seeing potentially a group dynamic with the 3 of Pentacles and the 5 of Swords. You dealing with unequal give and take. I'm getting, you know, people exploiting, leveraging power so they can steal. They can lie, they can cheat, they can do things behind the scenes, under the table, not on the up and up. And I think this has reached the point of no return. Like, you cannot keep, I'm getting, I don't know what this death card in the reverse, I'm just getting a big period, like the end, you stopping this. And I think that somebody is still trying to get over, even though maybe you said, we're not going to have this anymore. Enough of this. I'm not tolerating this. Somebody's still trying to go back and get more. And it's almost like get life out of something that is gone. It's like they're holding on to this way of, you might actually be trying to address this issue, but there is an energy here around you that is holding on to something that you are like, yeah, we're not doing this anymore. You will not be doing any more of this under the cover, covert, behind the scenes stuff on me. And somebody's still trying to do it. I'm almost getting an very unreasonable, uncompromising energy. Very resistant, extremely resistant. And it might be somebody is afraid of change. There's a fear of change. What would the fear be? That, oh, what if the tables got turned on me? I have to take before you take from me. Or I have to get mine before you ask me to give you yours. There is definitely something out of whack, out of balance here in the power dynamics, in the exchange. Your challenge is really finalizing this conclusively, because I get this energy of there is at least one person, if not several people around you, that just want to go back to the way it is. Or the way it was, I should say. And for you, you're going to have to embody more of this energy to deal with this. Which I think is hard for us, because we can be out in the stratosphere. And particularly if you're like me and have a lot of Pisces placements, out in the ethers. We are not very grounded at times, right? Is what I'm trying to say. And the challenge here is you have to be grounded. I'm telling an air sign to be grounded. Good luck with that, unless you got some Capricorn placements, as some of you do, you know, or some Earth placements, right? I mean, I'm kind of deficient in Earth, so this is a tough pill for me to swallow as I'm sitting with it. But as so much as you can embody Earth energy, I think the challenge here is that you're going to have to. You know, I'm going to, for me, have to tune more into my Taurus rising and my Mars in Capricorn. That's about all I have on the Earth. You know, everything else is air and water for me. You know, see how that resonates with you. But this is going to be challenging, more challenging for some air signs than others, right? This is a big challenge for me. Say, no, I don't have it. You can't take any more from me. I got to take care of myself. I have to protect myself because you're not protecting me. This is people who are not protecting you. They're not looking out for your best interests. They're not taking your best interests as their own. Why? There's an integrity issue. What is the root cause? It's a stronghold. It's a toxic mental stronghold, but I can't give to you, but you're abundant. You're self-sufficient. Gimme. No. You need to step into your own power through conscious commitments rather than trying to leech power off of others by covert means. Let's see what the advice is here for Aquarius, for the other person. What's the advice for Aquarius dealing with this other person? Real quick, before I forget, I need to tell you that if you want more tarot content from me, it's over to Etsy, and you can order private readings over there as well. in addition to on-demand pay-per-view content that's affordably priced. And I'm uploading new stuff all the time, lots of other goodies on there as well. And another place you could go if you want to get a private reading is to my website, crownones.weebly.com. I will have the links down below for those of you who are interested. And for those of you who are just like, hey, I just need the free stuff right now, and you want more readings that are free, you can visit my other channel, The Crowned Life, here on YouTube, where I go live every new moon and full moon, so make sure to subscribe. What is the advice for Aquarius? Oh boy. Well, look, I mean, begin again, okay? But how you do that, let me find out, because this is about you regenerating after some betrayals and some defeat. And I think it's not been one situation, it's been multiple. Oh my God. Where you have been left out in the cold with this person, all right? Some of you have to focus on your money now, okay? And on your resources. And you really need to evaluate what you are going to invest in this point on. What does Aquarius need to invest in? I just think there's going to have to be some serious advice here is, you know, honestly, the only way you're going to be able to begin again with this person is with truth and clarity and agreement. I don't really see at this point the person is in agreement with you because they have a mental stronghold. They have an internal belief that they don't have. And when people think, right, it's a lack mentality. And when they think, but I don't have anything to give you, then they think that makes it okay for them to take. Until you have nothing left to give and you're drained and you're in the poorhouse over this. And then you're going to get some toxic projection of you're the problem. Right? But honestly, the cards are telling me you're not. You're showing up as Nine of Pentacles. Independent, self-sufficient, more than enough. But if you're dealing with people who are draining you, which is what I'm seeing, you have to hold back and stop committing to people who are not committed to you. This is something you've got to reevaluate. Who's taking from you? Who's diminishing you, Aquarius? Versus who's adding to you? Because I'm seeing on both, for you, you have been dealing with betrayals from people who are not, they're not adding to you, okay? Yeah, you've got a lot of burdens and responsibilities now, and you need to leave it behind, okay? I mean, this was at the foundation. You got to get very clear in your head. And I'm also getting, all right, logical, right? I told you practical. And now I'm telling you logical is the advice here. That, and again, there's that at the bottom where you have not wanted to see something. Or you've blocked your emotions on this. And that came up in the reading for the week ahead of December 11th that I did. If you haven't seen it, you'll see it soon, like on Sunday. I put them out on Sundays. Spirit-led week ahead, okay? Where this energy, there you are showing up really bitchy, okay? Really, really bitchy. Could be emoting, but honestly, God's like, yeah, get it out. But you have not wanted to, there have been some blocked emotions. Maybe you felt like that it wasn't the time or place. Now you're starting to get more into it. But again, you're having to face a difficult truth because something has been stuck. Again, stuck maybe because you didn't want to see the reality that this person is in a gimme, taking type of, right? They see you as somebody who has abundance, that you need to be the one who's giving and they need to be the one receiving, that you bring comfort. But where is it coming on your end? You took on, I think, more than you can bear, and that your advice is you have got to disconnect from that. Some of you, it's the emotional attachment. Some of you feeling an emotional obligation to, but I have to do this, but I have to do this. I don't think that this is advice for you to emotionally disconnect from your feelings or, you know, how you feel about relationships. That needs to come out. But what you need to disconnect from is the emotional attachments about that have led you to take on things that are not fair, unfair burden, right? Somebody needs to come in and share these burdens. And if they don't, you need to cut that nonsense out. This is coming from a place of knowing the truth of the matter. As much as it may pain you to walk away, you have to in order to get to a place of happiness. And this is taking a very intentional role in your life, a leadership role. And for some of you, making a head over heart decision that, you know, maybe I took these responsibilities and burdens on because my heart went out and I wanted to help and give, and I wanted them to receive, and I wanted them to feel empowered that they can give back, or whatever the dynamic was here. But when they didn't come in to add and burden share, when they didn't share in your sacrifice, when they didn't match effort, you have to cut that out, okay? And I think some of you are having trouble dropping the burdens because you have some emotional rationale as to why it's okay for you to keep doing this rather than delegating, right? This is, you need to drop the burden. And some of you have not given yourselves permission to do that. Again, there's a lot of holding back and stuck energy and stalled energy because it's maybe difficult for you. You've rationalized yourself into, but I have to carry this. But I have to be responsible, even though other people are not. But I agreed to this. But I don't want to be the bad person here. I don't want to let other people down. Be logical here, okay? I think is the advice. And that's what's gonna move you to happiness. I hope I've said something that has helped. And I hope you will join me for the next reading. And until next time, I wish you all the best. Be blessed.